Have you ever felt like someone you care about is controlling you like a puppet on strings? Being controlled or tricked by someone is like a mental battle happening in your own life. We all want things to go our way, but some people like gaslighter, narcissists, and sociopaths take this too far. They purposely trick and control others to get what they want, even if it hurts you. What's even worse is that these manipulators are good at it, and you might not even realize they're doing it to you. But if you pay attention and think about your interactions with them, you might notice the signs of manipulation. It's all about staying aware and seeing things clearly. Continue watching to discover 13 tactics that gaslighters, narcissists, and sociopaths use to manipulate others. Before we go further, let's first review what is manipulation. Manipulation happens when someone tricks and uses sneaky methods to make others do what they want. Usually, the person being manipulated doesn't want to do what they're being pushed to do. But the manipulator doesn't care about being fair, they just want to achieve their own goals, even if it means hurting the person they're manipulating. Now, let's go over the 13 sneaky tactics used by gaslighters, narcissists, and sociopaths to manipulate others. 1. Love bombing. Love bombing is a key tactic that gaslighters, narcissists, and sociopaths use to manipulate others to get what they want. To execute the love bomb tactic, the manipulator takes advantage of their victim's vanity. During a love bomb maneuver, the manipulator overwhelms their victim with an abundance of love, lavish gifts, or extravagant displays of affection, all designed to make the victim feel obligated to the manipulator. They shower you with gifts and affection so you'll trust them and comply with their requests. However, love bombing often transitions into guilt-tripping tactics. 2. Guilt tripping. Guilt tripping is like the darker side of love bombing, in which the gaslighter, narcissist, and sociopath uses your sense of right and wrong against you. During a guilt trip, the narcissist, gaslighter, or sociopath may remind you of all they have done for you. They will make you feel ungraceful. When you start feeling ungrateful for someone's actions, they gain power over you as your confidence fades, making you more open to manipulation. They remind you of all they've done for you, making you feel guilty for not appreciating it. This makes you stressed and more susceptible to their control. 3. Psychological projection. Talking to a manipulator about their manipulation is like trying to grab a slippery eel with your bare hands. They slip away smoothly, leaving behind a slimy feeling. How do they manage this? Through something called psychological projection. They skillfully shift the conversation to make you feel like the one at fault instead of them. They cleverly divert attention from themselves by making it seem like the problem lies with you. When they accuse you of something similar to what you're trying to address, it creates doubt and insecurity, making you easier to manipulate. 4. Dodge, evade, and redirect. The manipulator avoids the spotlight by shifting the conversation, claiming you seem emotional or stressed. As you start questioning yourself because they dodged the main topic, they effortlessly present themselves as caring by pretending to be worried about you. 5. Casting you as the villain. When you call out your manipulator for being manipulative, they'll smoothly shift the conversation to make it seem like you're the one in the wrong. Whether they directly accuse you of being abusive or subtly imply it by projecting their tactics onto you, their aim is to unsettle you and make you easier to manipulate. 6. Tarnishing your reputation. A common manipulation tactic involves pretending that others are gossiping about you and that the manipulator has insider knowledge. However, in reality, it's the manipulator who spreads falsehoods and rumors about you. As a result, you may turn to them for information and distance yourself from people in your life, wrongly believing they're the ones causing trouble when it's actually the manipulator orchestrating the smear campaign. 7. Playing the victim. We all naturally want to support those who seem to be struggling, defend those who are being mistreated, and offer encouragement to someone facing bullying. But these 3 types of manipulators have a knack for portraying themselves as victims no matter the circumstance. If they lose their job and rely on you financially, they blame it on a new boss, insufficient training, or having to care for you during your illness. They never take responsibility for their actions. Seeing them as victims, you feel sympathetic and are more likely to comply with their requests. 8. Isolation and domination. When someone starts cutting off the people who usually surround you, it's a sign they're trying to isolate and control you. By blaming others in your life, the manipulator creates doubt and loneliness in you. As a result, you're more likely to fall under their control because you feel isolated and without. 9. The blame game. It's unfortunately common for manipulators to deflect blame onto others, making them the scapegoat for any shortcomings or mistakes. This constant finger-pointing can be incredibly damaging, as it can wear down an individual's self-esteem and make them feel powerless. Manipulators use this tactic to gain power over their victims, as they know that by constantly criticizing and blaming them, they can control their actions and decisions. Over time, this can lead to feelings of helplessness and hopelessness, making it difficult for the victim to stand up for themselves or assert their own needs and desires. 10. Control through deception. By spinning lies, the manipulator breeds doubt and confusion in their victim, instilling fear. In this vulnerable state, the victim becomes susceptible to more manipulation. Once convinced of their forgetfulness or inattentiveness, the victim is primed for the manipulator's deceit. Their ultimate aim is to make you depend on them for reminders, planting seeds of doubt in your mind. 11. The silent treatment. Another common tactic used by manipulators is to remain silent until they get what they want, avoiding mature conversation and discussion. This can be incredibly frustrating and confusing for the victim, as they may not understand why the manipulator is suddenly giving them the silent treatment. This tactic is often used to make the victim feel guilty, convincing them that they've done something wrong and need to make amends in order to end the silence. By doing this, manipulators can control the situation and get what they want without having to engage in a mature and honest conversation. 12. Dismissive attitudes. Manipulators often use approval and praise as a means of controlling others, but this approval is often withheld or offered in a backhanded way that asserts their superiority. When a victim seeks approval from a manipulator, they often find themselves feeling frustrated and futile, as they can never seem to please the manipulator enough to gain their praise. This is because the manipulator is intentionally withholding their approval in order to maintain control over the victim. In some cases, they may offer backhanded praise that actually undermines the victim's confidence and reinforces their own superiority. 13. Emotional extortion. Emotional extortion is a tactic often employed by manipulators, where they leverage their support against you either by demanding reciprocation or by threatening to withdraw their support. This behavior can be incredibly damaging, as it puts the victim in a position where they feel obligated to comply with the manipulator's demands in order to maintain the relationship. The manipulator may use their support as a bargaining chip, making it conditional on the victim's compliance with their wishes. This can create a toxic dynamic where the victim feels trapped and unable to assert their own needs and desires. In conclusion, manipulation tactics are used by individuals who want to control others and take away their power, often at the expense of the victim's individuality and free will. It's important to understand how a lack of self-awareness can lead to the use of manipulation tactics in relationships, and to become self-aware in order to recognize and stop this behavior. Whether you have been the victim of manipulation tactics or you have used them yourself, it's important to acknowledge the impact this behavior can have on relationships and take steps to address it. By learning to recognize manipulation tactics and setting healthy boundaries, you can create relationships that are based on mutual respect, trust, and equality. Remember that you deserve to be in relationships where your needs and feelings are respected, and don't let anyone use manipulation tactics to control you.